Everybody, this is Todd McFarlane here. I got the DC Multiverse, and you're listening to DC Collecticast.
Breaking news, collectors and citizens of the DCU. My name is Benjamin... What? Neo-Gotham? Why? What? I thought we... Okay, it's a crossover apparently. No, I mean, it just seems like important information to have ahead of time. You know what I mean? Welcome to DC Collecticast, talking action figures and collectibles from the DC Universe. I'm your host, Benjamin David. Breaking news, collectors and citizens of Neo-Gotham. Just this week, McFarlane Toys revealed their 7-inch Batman Beyond action figure set for release this spring. So today we'll be giving you a quick update on the beyond exciting McFarlane news. Also pulling from our IG Live Q&A from you guys on Instagram at Batman Beyond Media, as well as our IG Live interview with the super talented toy photographer Scott at the.batfan.
If you're new here, consider subscribing to the channel by clicking the subscribe button as well as the notification bell to make sure you don't miss any of our new content. Tune in for weekly and bi-weekly vid series all about the futuristic Bat Beyond.
Again, the reveal of McFarlane's upcoming DC Multiverse Batman Beyond action figure was just this week on December 9th. Officially, the reveal was a single photo preview of the figure with not much further information beside a release window and figure scale. Again, the new Beyond fig will fit right in with the rest of the 7-inch multiverse figs from McFarlane and is scheduled for release this spring 2021. Because McFarlane's preview is a bit sparse detail-wise, the big question remains, what about other characters from Beyond? Our Batman of the future has some of the coolest rogues and fellow cast members ever, perfect for a line of action figures. So let's just hope the closer to spring we also get a bigger roster of fig reveals from Neo-Gotham. When asked what other characters you would like to see from McFarlane Beyond, Santino2801 on Instagram said, all of them. Sounds like Santino might be on board for more. Again, that was from our Instagram at Batman Beyond Media. Please be sure to follow us there so you guys don't miss out on our next Q&A. And speaking of our live Q&A, we also had Scott with us from at the.batfan on Instagram. Again, Scott is a super talented toy photographer and good friend, so we asked him what he thought of McFarlane's announcement. From Scott, yeah, it looks good. Certainly better than the Mattel one we got a few years back. Scott's referring, of course, to the 2018 Mattel Batman Beyond action figure, and by the look of the McFarlane preview, I'd say I would agree. Scott also mentioned a video from this week of Todd McFarlane himself going live on Facebook Watch, showing the world for the first time what this Beyond fig can do. McFarlane started off the live vid talking about some design choices. Specifically, McFarlane confirmed that, while Batman Beyond was indeed born in animation, the toy company decided to base their 7-inch hero on the Batman Beyond found in DC Comics. And here's what you guys had to say on Instagram for one of our polls. Would you prefer the new McFarlane design was closer to DCAU Beyond? In other words, animated Beyond? 81% said yes. 19% no. And one of the questions I posed on Instagram was, which version of Beyond do you think inspires the figure most? My co-host and friend here at the channel, Eli Benson, responded, Ryan Benjamin artwork. Benjamin, who, aside from the most superior name, was the artist on such Batman Beyond comic runs as Industrial Revolution and Hush Beyond. Whether or not McFarlane based the new figure exactly on Benjamin's art is unclear, but still pretty cool that our co-host once again flexed his Beyond expertise. So be sure to follow Eli on his very powerful Instagram at Batman_Beyond_fan page. And speaking of Todd McFarlane himself, if you want to see my interview with McFarlane live from New York Toy Fair 2020, then click this link right up here to see what Todd has to say about the multiverse back in February. That's on today's crossover DC Collecticast show on our network's YouTube channel, Comic Book INTL. And please consider subscribing to our Beyond podcast as well for an additional interview with McFarlane Toys focused just on the animated side of McFarlane's DC Multiverse. You can find that episode on our podcast of the same name, Above and Batman Beyond. And finally, pre-orders. As of now, still no news on when pre-orders begin for the McFarlane Batman Beyond. But be sure to keep a close eye on BigBadToyStore.com as well as Entertainment Earth. And if you're so bold as to wait for stores this spring, the great thing about McFarlane is we're likely going to have a fully articulated 7-inch Batman Beyond figure available at major everyday retailers like Target and Walmart. Though keep in mind there's always the possibility of a store exclusive situation, so really we're just going to have to wait and see what McFarlane says closer to spring. Thanks again so much to all of you who joined in on the Q&A fun on Instagram. Again, if you don't follow us already, we are at Batman Beyond Media, where you're clearly missing out on all the fun polls and Q's and A's and toys and games we get to talk about. Actually, we talk more about Batman Beyond than anything, but we do happen to have a show all about toys and games. Once again, that's DC Collecticast. Subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, and please hit us up on Instagram for that show as well. We are at DC Collecticast. And before we go, I'll leave you with our final poll of the day. Speaking of pre-orders, 65% of our Instagram followers said yes, they are going to pre-order the McFarlane Batman Beyond fig. 35% said no. So this has been Benjamin David. Keep collecting.
Hey, this is Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman, telling you to go above and Batman Beyond.
If you're new here, consider subscribing to the channel and share this video with other Bat fans beyond who would also like this kind of content. We also have a bunch of interviews here on the channel with cast and crew from Batman Beyond, including both Batmen of the future, Kevin Conroy and Will Friedle. So make sure to stay tuned to the channel for more interview content as well.